Welcome back to episode 4 of watching an episode of One Piece every day until I die or catch up. Episode 4, I forget the exact name of the title, but it's the one where it's like the Shanks flashback episode. So if you aren't caught up to the series yet, you can if you want, because we're just starting. But otherwise, don't really bother. Especially because the first episodes are a little bit longer, like 10, 12 minutes. I'm hoping to do like 5, 6 minutes. Just get some One Piece in your life and then go. So, oh my gosh, it looks like I have like a ring light. Like I have an actual setup, but I don't. I just put this by my window. Don't have any setup, no microphone, no script, just pure vibes. That's all I can offer you. Not because I can't offer more, but because I'm too lazy to. And this serves as kind of something for me as well, that help me process what I'm feeling about this show that I'm already starting to love. So enough yapping. I get annoyed with myself even. Let's just jump into just like the quick synopsis of the episode. So the whole episode is basically a flashback. So we start with Luffy and Zoro, who just joined the crew in the ship. Their dinky little like tiny little sailboat ship, whatever. And Luffy almost loses his hat, and we start a flashback to Shanks. So Shanks is the red-haired pirate with the straw hat, and he's got like the 3 marks over his eye. And Luffy like wants to join his pirate crew because he's the captain. And Shanks is like, "No, Luffy, like no, like you don't want to be a pirate, blah blah blah." And these other pirates show up and cause some trouble, and Shanks like fights them off, or they like kind of make a fool of Shanks in front of Luffy. And then somehow like Luffy but Shanks and his whole crew are fine with it. But Luffy's like pissed, like he wants them to stand up for themselves, and he's like says they're not very cool. So he eats like the demon fruit that they just have lying around, I guess. They just take this super, super valuable demon fruit that will curse someone for the rest of their life if anyone eats it. And they just have it lying around and no one's checking it. So Luffy just goes and eats it, I guess. Which, whatever. That's fine, I guess. He needs to eat it somehow. And he turns into like the gum person, basically. And that's how he gets like his gum powers. And he goes and finds the other pirate, who basically just snatches Luffy when Shanks stands up. So Luffy goes to the other pirate who made a fool of Shanks and is like, "Apologize." Yeah. And the other pirate's like, "No." And then so Shanks shows up and basically punks this other pirate's whole crew. But the captain steals Luffy and goes to sea. And he's like gonna drown Luffy, basically, which is like pretty intense, I guess. But then Shanks shows up and gets his arm bitten off by the sea monster who takes down the other pirate. But Shanks, just pure aura, just stares at the big sea serpent until he goes away. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. But then his arm is gone, so he like sacrifices his arm just to like save Luffy, and then gives Luffy a straw hat. So that's why it means so much to him. So I thought I had fun with this episode. Honestly, I thought it was pretty entertaining. I liked, I like the story of Shanks and how a reason as to why the straw hat is so valuable, because it's so iconic to Luffy. And I have no problem just establishing that as early as they did. One note for like, so normally I'll preface this. I don't normally love like flashbacks because I think they're normally handled poorly. So for example, like in Jujutsu Kaisen, there's obviously like flashbacks are a huge part of anime. And in Jujutsu Kaisen, for example, there's some like, in season 2, I'm not going to spoil anything. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, I won't spoil anything. I'll just be very general. And there were some flashbacks with, like Kugasaki, it was kind of in like the middle of a fight. And there was like a whole like episode of flashbacks concerning like Kugasaki's character. And I was like, it was almost like insultingly bad. And I have similar problems where it slows down fights. I find it's just like filler to kind of make stuff longer. I did not feel that way with this. I'm sure there will be flashbacks that I will be annoyed with in One Piece, just because of the style and the age of anime that it comes from. But I did not feel like that with this episode, and because, and I'll tell you why. Because it didn't slow down any like fast paced action, to try and elongate any fights, and it didn't feel like it was grasping at content. It was genuine establishment of an iconic piece of Luffy and his character motivations as well. Um, so I thought it was good, and it was just entertaining as well. I think sometimes flashbacks can be a lot less entertaining than the current stuff that you're like in, and so the flashbacks are just like take you out of what you're having fun with and make it more boring. But I had a great time with this one, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to come. But I think even with a show like One Piece, you kind of need flashbacks because it's so long. And even like the arcs are pretty long, and from what it seems, you kind of need the flashbacks to take you out of, so versus like a 4, 5, or 6 episode arc in another show. The One Piece arcs are what, like 30 to anywhere from 30 to 80 episodes. I don't exactly know. So you need those flashbacks to take you out of the setting and get you somewhere new and somewhere exciting. Kind of because of the slower pace. I don't say that in a bad way. But yeah, I had fun with this episode. Hopefully we get to see more of Nami soon. It looks like we're gonna meet up with Buggy, because that's Nami ran into Buggy's crew. So I'm excited to see that, and I'm just excited for Nami to join the crew, honestly, because from the 4 episodes that I've seen in the live action, she's a really good character. So I'm gonna quit yapping and I guess subscribe. I'm just gonna do this until I get more subscribers, and then once I do that, I'll do more fun stuff. I have stuff planned for this channel, but for now, it's just a fun way to recap, this show that I'm already enjoying. So, yeah, peace out.